Hello and welcome to Ultra TV. I'm Andy Nuttall. A few weeks ago we caught up with our friend Simon Roberts because he'd just won the Lake Sky Ultra and Race Across Snowdonia. And at the time he mentioned that in a few weeks he'd be running the Dragon's Back. Well, he did run the Dragon's Back and he ran it very well. In fact, he won it. So we thought we'd catch up with him again a week or two later and just see how he feels. So Simon, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Andy. Yeah, I'm a happy boy. I said I was going to go win it, and it went and happened. So I'm very pleased with that.
Absolutely over the moon, I would think. I mean, I know you were confident, and it's rare to speak with someone with that kind of confidence, because you weren't really kind of arrogantly confident. You were just kind of matter of fact about it, and just sort of saying, "Well, I'm just going to go and see." And I think you talked about your strategy for Race Across Snowdonia and for Lake Sky Ultra to just sort of run as hard as you can up the first hill and then see how it goes. And I remember joking with you, didn't want to give your secrets away to anyone who might be watching who's going to be running the Dragon's Back. But actually, as it transpired, it doesn't really matter because, I mean, what happened?
Yeah, it's
with Dragon's Back. What happened?
It's not much of a race plan, is it? But what I have learned over the past few years is not to have a race plan, because races never go to plan. So you can the only thing I discovered, I can plan the effort I'm going to put in, and to win a race, you have to put in a very hard effort. So that's all I went for, really. Is there's lots of things you can't control in races, but what you can control is your own effort. So yeah, my goal was to go out there, work hard, but pick a comfortable effort, really hard, but keep it comfortable. So I wasn't going out really stupidly fast on day one. And yeah, so the effort on day one, so I ended up, the lead group was myself, Kim and Russell. And yeah, the pace was perfect, I thought, and yeah, it was really comfortable. So yeah, it worked out quite well, actually. We were all kind of aiming for the same pace. So yeah, it was a good start to the race. And then generally throughout the weekend, yeah, just basically just go out as hard as I could really to get in the lead and maintain the lead.
So on that day one, you finished, I think, 13 seconds ahead of Russell?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was only because he dipped in before me. I think there was maybe two people in between us when we were dipping out for the start for the castle. That's all that was. But me and Russell were together for all of day one.
Oh, so you run together the whole day?
Yeah, we run together. We were racing. Yeah, there was a few moments where I was shooting off ahead. I remember Russell shot off ahead for a few moments as well. So there was lots of to and fro-in between myself, Kim and Russell. So yeah, it was quite competitive. We were running hard up the hills. We ran pretty much all of the hills, apart from Trivan and Cribgoch. Doing some really fast descending as well and some of the technical stuff. And then we lost Kim on the Trivan climb. So then it was just myself and Russell then. So we were still racing from that point on. But we did, so on the climb to Cribgoch, I remember Russell said to me, he was saying something about, right, you're looking behind and you can't see anyone. So he said something along the lines of, we've got a big lead here. He said, why don't we take it easy for a bit now for the rest of the day, save it for tomorrow. So I took that on board, but I cracked on. I wanted to keep this pace going. So I smashed on up to Cribgoch then. But I think there was a bit of a lead I created there, but Russell wasn't far behind, to be fair. So he did catch me back up on the ridge of Cribgoch, and then we finished off the day then together then, and so we crossed the finish line of day one together, which
you see, they didn't talk much during that day one then.
There's a few words here and there, about laughs from tripping over and things like that. But I didn't know Russell at all. I didn't even know him as a runner, as a competitor. He was an unknown to me. I obviously knew Kim, because Kim's done a lot of good stuff over the years. So yeah, so just getting to know Russell's running, and I could work out that he was a very good mountain runner. So I knew he was going to be my competition for the week. I knew I could see that was going to happen from the afternoon of day one. But then, so back in my tent, then my mate Matt, he filled me in on what Russell's credentials were. He said, yeah, he's a absolute shit off road runner. And he's telling me he's a 220 marathon runner. That got me thinking about the road sections straight away on days 4 and 5 and 6. But yeah, so I thought, right, he's got some tools that I'm not really prepared for here. So I'm thinking, yeah, it was going to be an interesting week just from hearing that. That's what I knew of Russell at that point then was, yeah, he can run mountains, but he's also stronger in the roads.
Was that deflating or was that inspiring, or did you just not think about it that way?
We didn't reach that point yet. So I knew we already had, days 2 and 3 to do, which were mountain days. So I was happy, I could get a lead on those days, maybe if I could run hard enough, race Russell hard enough. So I'd have to take advantage on those days, I was thinking at that point then. And so days 2 and 3, Russell started very, very early, which was a surprise to me. I mean, I remember being on the morning of day 2, it was about 8:10 or something. I was just stood around waiting around at the start. There's no one else there. And I'm looking around for Russell. I'm thinking he's going to start at a similar time. I was getting ready to race him that day. But then somebody told me that he left like an hour and a half before. I was thinking, oh, all right. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So I just got cracked on with day 2. I found that uncomfortable though, not racing with him, because I didn't know how he was doing then. So racing against somebody you can't see, that bothered me a bit. But at the same time, I think it urged me to go a bit harder. So I wanted to get a lead. So the only way all I could do really was just work hard, and knowing that Russell was out there somewhere. He could have been having a shit day, he could have been having a cracking day. So I just had to back myself up and go hard. So yeah, that was day 2 was the hot day. It was like 30 degrees, which saw off a lot of people on that day. And yeah, I remember I had a really fast first half, and then the heat hit me on the second half. And I was going slow. So I was quite worried that Russell was going to pull ahead, because I was just assuming he was going to have a strong day. Then I got to the end of day 2 and was very, very surprised to have put a 55-minute lead on him. So yeah, I was very, very happy with that.
I guess if he started like an hour and a half before you, he would have had more of the cool day, I suppose.
Yeah. So I think that was his idea. That was his way of working. Yeah. But yeah, I finished day 2. I was in a bit of a mess. I couldn't breathe or anything. It was it was tough going. It was a really hard day of racing. That was one of the hardest days of racing I've ever done. But yeah, so happy to get that big lead. That was actually a big moment in the race.
So talk me through the finish line of day 2. You basically collapsed, did you, at the end, and recover?
Yeah, I was just crouched down for a bit, just trying to get my breath. I was nearly going to get a medic, but I come around quite quickly, actually. So
and then who told you that you were in the lead?
When you get given your times, and when you finish, somebody always comes and assists you. You get the people, they give you your bags and sort you out some drinks and whatnot. Some of the Dragons Back crew, and it was my mate Trish, actually, who was coming to see me and help me out. And yeah, so she told me that I'd put a lead on Russell, and I was actually really shocked, but happy with that. So yeah, that was cool.
And then how does that make you feel for the rest of the week then? Does that, so you could rest easy, I suppose, knowing that you've got like an hour's lead, but I guess you must be always aware that an hour's lead can disappear quite quickly.
Yeah.
So how did you feel starting day 3 then?
So an hour is not that much of a lead, really. I mean, it only takes a silly nav error. It can take a little injury, and you can lose that hour. So going into day 3, I obviously wanted to extend that lead just to give myself a bit of cushion for the later days, where Russell was going to be a problem for me. So day 3 just went hard as I could then on the first half. So on Cadair Drift, it was nice and cool getting up that climb, so I could do that really fast. I took advantage of some of the route choices, so it saved me some time, but I also took some crap route choices as well. So they didn't really pay off. But it started to get a bit hot in the afternoon as well, so it did slow down a bit. And so again, I had the same worries of day 2. I was thinking, right, I'm going slow here. I'm expecting Russell to go well, but same again, because I'm racing against Russell, and I can't see him because he started early again. And got to the finish, happy days. I managed to extend that lead by another 30 minutes or something like that. So it was another shock, but I think not knowing where Russell was urging me on, and just to put that little bit of extra effort in just to secure my place. I think so. As much as I didn't like not knowing where Russell was, I think it was pushing me on.
Did you? How was kind of the conversations with him at that point? Because I was reading his blog, and I think he said he was slowly starting to get a bit of respect for you over the week. And I thought, some of the words to that effect anyway. But were you having a chat with him at any point in those evenings? And was it friendly banter, or was it splitting feathers?
No, it was nothing like that. We spoke a few words. Yeah, it's been friendly together. He didn't know me, and I didn't know him. So I think he was maybe a bit shocked that he didn't realise I could move fast on the hills. So we just, it was a few words in the evenings, because those were the only times I was seeing him. But the bond was made on day 5. So okay. That's when we actually run together. It was on the afternoon of day 5, and that's when we were chatting together and having a laugh on the afternoon of day 5. So that was good. There's some good times there. On day 4, he started only a few minutes before me. So the chase was on there, but I always knew he was just a bit in front of me. But I had a bit of a crap start on day 4, and I passed my mate Martin, and he told me that Russell was flying and he's miles ahead of me. I was thinking, oh shit. Right. So I had to pull my finger up my ass and get moving then. And I had to chase him down big time, because his roads on day 4, and I knew he was going to use them. I had to put in an extra big effort just to stop him from closing the gap, basically. So I think I think at the support point, somebody said he was 30 minutes in front of me, and by the finish, it was about 8 or 9 minutes. So he got in front of me. He closed the gap a bit, but it was only 8 or 9 minutes. So I was actually happy with that. Yeah.
And day 5?
Day 5 went out. So he started only a few minutes before me again. So the chase was on. So to Llandovery is some big road sections through lanes and whatnot. I think he got a bit lost at the start in the woods, so it was quite easy to catch him. So we were running together then, but then there's a point on that morning where I found myself running side by side a 2:20 marathon runner. It was very obvious who was the comfortable one.
Right. So, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. I was.
Were you blowing out your ass at any point?
Big time. I had to retreat. I had to recover, because I was going to blow up. He wasn't even breathing hard. It was. So I can see that's where his experience is, isn't it? And so I had to pull back. Recover, sort myself out, and then I went through it again then to try and catch him up, and caught him up at the support point. So happy with that. We were side by side at that point, and we were side by side at the support point as well. He was changing his shoes. I was just filling my bag back up. He stood up, looked at me, and looked at me as if he was waiting for me as well. So here we go. I can't remember if there were words spoken there, but yeah, we just started running together then, and that's what it was. That was the Brecon Beacons then for day 5 afternoon. I think he knew that those are my training grounds. That's where I am all the time. I know it like the back of my hand, that route. So yeah, we stuck together and ran hard, but we were running together this afternoon, and yeah, it was awesome. I loved that that afternoon running with Russell. We had a wicked laugh and absolutely smashed the course. I think they were expecting us, because that's a new day 5. They were expecting people to do it around 9 hours. I think that's what Graham and Shane were expecting. I think we done it under 8 hours. So
right.
Made good time, yeah.
I know that. I know the whole course, but I know that area as well, having done it fairly recently from Fanagiric down over to the support point of the reservoir, and that's a long way.
Couldn't wait to show Russell Van Gierig and Van Ned and all those hills, because they're just trackless, pretty. Yeah. They're not the biggest of hills, but they are tough to move on. And yeah, I couldn't wait to show Russell Gierig. That's one of my favourite hills in the Beacons. It's good laugh, that one.
Was he shot? Had he not seen it before then? Had he not been in that area before?
He hadn't been to the Beacons in years, so I don't think he'd been to those parts of the Beacons. Yeah, so he was loving day 5 as well, especially it was a pretty dark day, but the sun did come out a few times, and he could see the views. And he was happy when he could see the views. He was really pleased. But yeah, I think he loved that part of the race as well. It was a good moment.
I really like the idea that you're showing off your kind of playground to someone else in the middle of racing.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah. It's a nice moment, I guess.
Yeah, no, we did that. I was on the Friday, wasn't it? Yeah, that Friday afternoon was great. But then we were back racing then the next day. So the camaraderie didn't last all that long. But yeah, it was strong on that afternoon.
Do you think then on day 6 that he still thought he might be in with a chance if he can, if you have an error or an injury or something, then maybe he can if he just nails it, then there's a chance, right?
So day 6, hour and a half lead. It only takes a big nav error from myself or just a twisted ankle or something to slow me down that much. And loads of road sections on day 6. It's mainly a road. It's a tarmac path. Merthyr, Taff Trail, Cardiff. So yeah, it was to his advantage. So I know he went out hard just like he's a racer, so he's going to go hard. I went out hard. I did do some silly nav errors, especially in real simple moments of the course as well. In Merthyr, I started following the crowds, and the crowds didn't know where they were going. So
wow,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I panicked a few times, but I didn't lose that much time, I don't think. And then I caught Russell up then, just as we were to drop onto the Taff Trail. So yeah, we ran into Cardiff together then. Fast, I think we were 7-minute mile in, so we were shifting. And that was it really. Ran into the castle together then. It was the biggest relief ever. I was so pleased I won, but I was so relieved that it was over. It was a hard week. It was harder than I expected it to be. I knew going in to win it, I was going to have to work as hard as I could, but I had to dig deeper than I thought. So it was just a huge relief for that to be over. I mean, I loved the week, but it was nasty. Yeah, it was tough. So I was glad that I'd done it, and because I said I was going to win, so I had to back that up, didn't I? So yeah, it was a huge relief, and I was just so elevated. It was awesome, and saw all my family there straight away. They were all crying. I was crying. It was it's very emotional, but awesome. I loved it.
I mean, finishing in effectively a hometown, right?
Yeah. I
know it's a home city anyway.
Yeah, well, it is. It's a 20 minute drive from where I live. and yeah, loads of family and friends there. It was just a cracking day. But I was dead in. I think I had one beer. I think that's all I could. That's all I could muster. I was just dead in. I just wanted to go home, go to bed.
Right.
Yeah.
But you had the whole prize giving and stuff to go, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
That
It's a long day then, isn't it? Because that's in that's in the evening, and then myself and Katie Mills, then we presented the big dragon trophy to the last finisher. Then so it was a late one. So but it was a.
I saw that. It was a really nice touch. Whose idea was it to do that? That was a really nice thought.
Yeah, Shane and Graham asked us to do it. So was happy to do it. But we was watching the tracker, and I was thinking, all right, is this boy running or is he walking? No, how long are we gonna have to wait? But no, it was okay. It wasn't too much of a wait. So that was going to have a great moment as well. Yeah.
So you, I mean, the amazing thing from the outside looking in is that there's a bunch of people I suppose were considered favourites. You know, honestly, I mean, Steve Birkinshaw won it 9 years ago. You know, an elite mountain runner.
Yeah.
And then you got Marcus, and you got Kim, and I don't know. There's a bunch of strong runners. And then, as you said, like you didn't know who Russell was particularly. Even he's got the paddy and stuff like that behind him, but you're a relatively unknown runner, and you as a relatively unknown runner, just kind of bursting onto the scene just a few weeks ago. Real well, obviously you came. Sorry, you did come 29th or something like that in the Dragon's Back last time, but you're relatively unknown, and yet you're both gunning it on your own, effectively, between the two of you, gunning it to try and win this thing because it was between the two of you, right? Probably after day one. It was just between the two of you. It's like, who's going to last the course? That's remarkable, I think.
Yeah, no, we were both hungry for it. We both wanted it. We had the favourites, but the way I was looking at it was they were just normal people. And that's all I was looking at them at. I know you got your Marcus Scottney and your Kim Collinson, but I was just thinking of them. They're just normal guys. They're very beatable. And that was my way of looking at it. And I was going to look at anyone like that as well. So I was leveling that playing field. So I wasn't, scared or intimidated by any strong runner. I knew what I could do. And I knew I could work hard enough to win it. And but it was good that Russell was there. It was an awesome race with him all week. He pushed me harder than I thought I was going to have to run. And so it turned out to be a cracking race between Russell and I think.
So what happens in the future now then? Because I guess there's a switch that's been pulled, like a metaphorical switch that's been pulled, which is like you've won the last 3 races you entered. And so now people are going to go, well, I know who Simon Roberts is. Yeah. He's literally just won some quite impressive races. And so you're racing. Are you racing next weekend?
Got racing next weekend. They got Snowdonia Sky Race next weekend. So it's not an ultra, but it's still 40 kilometers. I think it's 3,500 meters of vert. So it's still a big race. It'll be out for a lot of hours. It's a very competitive lineup as well in this race. Some very, very strong boys on this one. So I think I've recovered. I've been training. I've been training sensibly. Still getting rest and training at the same time. But I think I'm fit for it. I'm looking forward to it as well. So we'll see how that goes.
I guess you've lost the element of surprise.
Yeah, I know. So going into Dragon's Back, I was pretty much an unknown still, wasn't I? I know yourself and a few of the other guys knew me, but we knew each other from before. So, but now, maybe there will be a few more eyes on me, I guess.
Is that going to change your approach? Are you going to think about it any differently, or just go in the same?
No, I won't be thinking about that at all. I think just go in with the same attitude as always. Well, I think it's working for me. I don't want to put any more pressure on myself. There's no need for it really. Just go and work as hard as I can and see what happens. I think
you seem to get a lot of enjoyment out of running and running in hills. and I guess particularly Welsh hills, because that's where you
Yeah,
where
it's
you're
like
born, where you live.
Dragon's Back Day One. That's my favourite terrain to run on. And
Right.
now I'm going back up. So the course next week is it's a figure of 8, pretty much on the same course. It's got Tryfan, but it's got Tryfan North Face, and then it's got Cribgoch again. So yeah, it's the terrain I love. It's my favourite terrain to run on. So yeah, we shall see how that goes. It's got the 2 lads in it who beat me in Scarfell Sky Race. So
All right.
yeah, we'll see how I fare against them this time.
Awesome. So how do you feel then now about well, what about the future? I mean, after that, because it's heading towards winter, and then then 2022 beckons. How do you see that going?
Yeah, so I've already got my calendars looking pretty full at the moment. So Snowdon next week. I've then got the end of October. So my
I'll see you there.
Yeah. Oh, you'll be there, will you?
Yeah, me and Robin are doing the medium.
Oh, cool. All right. So myself and Matt O'Keefe, who was 3rd at the Dragon's Back, we're teaming up. So we'll be in the elite race, I think. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. We could both run fast, but we don't know what direction we're going in.
Right.
But can't wait for that. I've always wanted to do it. So so that's in end of October. Then I'm going back to the Cheviot Goat then, so that'll be beginning of December. And then I'm down for the new spine race, the North Challenger, but I'm also pretty high up on the wait list for the big spine. So fingers crossed I can get onto that, but I'll be equally happy. Well, I'm happy that I'm on the new spine race anyway. And after that, then I'm got Cape Wrath then in May next year.
Right.
So back to a big multi-day, and yeah, really looking forward to that one.
Fantastic. Honestly, mate, that's really good. I'm more than impressed. I mean, particularly having had a crack at it as well, and just feeling the heat. It was very, very warm, that Dragon's Back, and I can't quite fathom how you can run that fast in that heat, but well done.
Yeah,
it's really seriously impressive.
It paid off going for it in that heat in the end. That's what I learned. That's what I went through on race across Snowdonia, was running in that type of heat on that same terrain. Yeah, just gotta get the fluids in you and force it in you, even if you don't feel like drinking. Just gotta get it in you, and I
remember you said, in fact, in your report in the mag, you talked about dehydration, and there was a point where all your vision went funny. You had a headache. Everything just seemed to be shutting down, and you just basically sat in a lake and drank loads. Did you use that experience in Dragon's Back to get through those first couple of days?
I was looking for those signs. I remember my ears they were popping like I was on an airplane, and my vision was just blacking out. So I was kind of looking for those signs. So there were some moments when my hearing was starting to go, like I hear like a ringing sound and things like that. So I knew, right, I need to get water in me now. Yeah, but it was tough in the Rinogs on Dragon's Back though, because it was very, very dry, and there were a couple of hours where I had no water, but I had been drinking a lot of water up until that point, so I think I covered myself pretty well.
Right, mate. Well, I'm going to leave you to the rest of your Sunday evening.
Good.
Thanks very much for taking the time out again to come and talk to us.
No worries, anytime, Andy. Good speaking with you.
Well, I'd like to talk to you again after next weekend, just to see how it goes. Hopefully, it'll be the same story. Hopefully, you can get the win again and beat those two.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I'll try.
Yeah. All right, good man. Pablo.
Okay, Andy.
Thanks very much to Simon again for spending half an hour of his Sunday night with us. If you like this video, please hit the like underneath and subscribe to our channel, and you'll get all the notifications of future videos. Until next time, speak to you soon.